And a big development in poll-bound Punjab that set off political fight there. The ED raids now. The Chief Minister Charanjit Channi's relatives. ED raids were conducted at 10 locations across Punjab in connection with an illegal sand mining case. Bhupinder Singh Honey, who is Chief Minister Channi's sister-in-law's son, was also raided, and his Mohali home was searched for nearly 5 hours. The ED raids took place with just weeks to go for polls, and it sparked now a political showdown with the Congress lashing out at the centre. Chief Minister Channi has called this an intimidation tactic, saying that he will not be cowed down by the ED raids or any other agency. Arvind Kejriwal, meanwhile, has slammed Chief Minister Channi, welcomed the ED crackdown, accusing Channi and his family of being involved in illegal sand mining. Now, Channi's kin had allegedly floated a firm named Punjab Realtors to get some sand mining contracts. ED suspects that black money was invested in getting contracts for the sand mine because the company that was floated is of a small scale and is unlikely to get such a massive contract worth crores, which is why it has now come under the agency's lens.
वेस्ट बंगाल के जब इलेक्शन हुए, ममता बनर्जी के रिश्तेदारों पे भी ऐसे ही अटैक हुए थे। सेम पैटर्न पे अब पंजाब में ईडी प्रेशराइज करने की कोशिश कर रही है, परेशानी दे रही है, हर तरीके से दबाव बनाया जा रहा है। 2018 की 17-18 की कोई एफआईआर को बेस जैसे आप बता रहे हो बनाया जा रहा है। हमारा उससे क्या संबंध है? उस समय तो मैं मुख्यमंत्री भी नहीं था, लेकिन इन्होंने किसी न किसी तरीके तरह हमारे मंत्री और मुझे टारगेट करना है और दबाने की कोशिश है ये, लेकिन पंजाबी कभी दबते नहीं है, मैं इतना बता दूं।
जब चुनाव आता है, जिन जिन राज्यों में चुनाव आता है, भाजपा अपनी हार की बौखलाहट से अपनी विपक्षी पार्टियों पर इस तरह की ईडी हो, सीबीआई हो, आईटी रेड चुनावी हथियार बनाकर करती रही है। इससे पहले हम लोगों ने देखा पश्चिम बंगाल हो, तमिलनाडु हो, महाराष्ट्र हो, वहां पर बीच चुनाव में ईडी, सीबीआई, आईटी को चुनावी हथियार बनाकर इस्तेमाल किया गया। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी इससे पहले कोशिश की कि पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री को बदनाम किया जाए, और वो यहां तक कह के गए कि मैं पंजाब से जिंदा लौट के जा रहा हूं, पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री चन्नी का धन्यवाद कर दीजिएगा। भाजपा के इन हथकंडों से कांग्रेस न डरने वाली है और न पीछे हटने वाली है।
की मानसिकता शुरू से रही है, चाहे बंगाल की चुनाव हो, चाहे असम का चुनाव हो, ये जिससे लड़ते हैं मुद्दों के ऊपर, इनके पास मुद्दे तो है नहीं, लोग इनको पसंद नहीं करते। ये लोगों को डराकर, धमकाकर और गलत पर्चे दर्ज कर वो पावर में आना चाहते हैं। लेकिन से डरने वाले हम लोग नहीं हैं। ईडी के चाहे 10 रेड डलवा ले, तो अब्दाली से नहीं डरे, हम तो मुगलों से नहीं डरे। आप क्या डराओगे ईडी बीडी से?
दुख की बात है कि मुख्यमंत्री के रिश्तेदार सैंड माफिया, रेता चोरी के अंदर उनके ऊपर रेड हो रही है। राघव चड्ढा जी ने भी चन्नी साहब के उनके अपने हलके में दिखाया था कि किस तरह से वहाँ पे रेता चोरी हो रही थी। उसको उजागर करने के बावजूद सीएम ने, चन्नी साहब ने उस पर कोई एक्शन नहीं लिया, उल्टे उसको जस्टिफाई करने की कोशिश की। तो साफ जाहिर है कि वो और उनका परिवार जो है वो रेता माफिया में शामिल हैं, और जो मुख्यमंत्री और जो परिवार, जिनका पूरा परिवार रेता चोरी में शामिल होगा, उनसे पंजाब के भविष्य की क्या अपेक्षा की जा सकती है?
We are inside Homeland Heights Society in Mohali. On my right side you can see is the vehicle in which the Enforcement Directorate officials along with 4 CRPF men came to conduct a raid which is going on from last 5 hours. It started around 8 o'clock in the morning and going on continuously. It is being conducted in flat number 53. Sources say this flat is owned by Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi's close relative Bhupinder Singh Honey. Neighbors have told us that some people who used to visit and used to stay here have been coming with highly protective cover. They belong to the influential groups. Sources say the raids are being conducted at nearly a dozen places, which also includes Ludhiana, Panchkula and Mohali. These raids are being conducted on the basis of an FIR registered at Raho police station. The timing of this raid is also being questioned as it is being conducted at a time when Punjab is heading for 2022 assembly elections. With video journalist Sleep Sahu, this is Manjeet Sehgal and Mohali for India Today.
All right, let me quickly cut across to Manish Pandey joining us live from Delhi. Manish, we know that the Enforcement Directorate is currently raiding 10 locations in Punjab. They've raided a relative of Charanjit Singh Channi in illegal sand mining case. Now, what kind of suspicious information has the ED received for them to have really initiated those massive raids in Punjab?
Yeah, well, Nabila, on the basis of an FIR which was lodged in Punjab, the Enforcement Directorate has launched a money laundering case. Now, I spoke to several officials who are part of the investigation, and they have told India Today that during the investigation of the case, they suspect that because this firm belonging to Bhupinder Singh Honey, a close relative of Punjab Chief Minister, that company's name is Punjab Realtors, and that the company was financially so weak that it was not capable or it was not in a position to take contract worth crores of rupees. But still, the company got the contracts of sand mining, and it was an illegal sand mining, and that is why ED decided to conduct raids. But the timings are very, the timings are being questioned by the opposition parties. They are claiming that because there is election, that is why BJP, the center, is using the central agencies like Enforcement Directorate. But ED maintains that they have nothing to do with the politics. Officially, they are maintaining that they got the information about black money being converted into white money, and that is why these raids are being conducted at over 10 places in Punjab. Nabila.
Manish, thank you very much for joining us with those details. But like you said, several questions now being raised on the timing of the ED raids. Of course, Punjab elections is coming up, fast approaching. Are these ED raids timed with the Punjab polls is the question. Are the ED raids aimed at influencing Punjab polls? What is the role of Chief Minister's kin in this illegal sand mining case? Should at all Chief Minister Channi come clean on the role of his relative in this illegal sand mining case? If at all he has any remote involvement, should he come clean on this? And of course, the question being asked, is this raid to sully the Chief Minister's clean image or generate sympathy? And on the other hand, the Aam Aadmi Party has now announced AAP MP Bhagwant Mann as the Punjab Chief Ministerial face for the party. Aam Aadmi Party Supremo and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has made this announcement today. Bhagwant Mann, after the announcement, said that he has always been a soldier and people have hopes on him. Kejriwal has said that in the survey, Bhagwant Mann got 93% votes. A spree of celebrations were witnessed after the announcement. AAP supporters, workers and family members were seen doing bhangra. Celebrations were also witnessed in Mann's hometown in Punjab, Sangrur. Cutouts, posters of Bhagwant Mann also surfaced in Mohali. The announcement now comes after the Aam Aadmi Party did a telephonic survey on who should be its party's face for the upcoming Punjab polls. In fact, the Aam Aadmi Party has said that it received over 19 lakh responses on the phone number that they rolled out. AAP National Convener Arvind Kejriwal has asked people on Thursday to pick who they feel must be the Chief Ministerial face for the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab. It was more like a tele-vote where people could make their choice through that phone number. And Bhagwant Mann, we believe, has got 93% of those votes. Among the 19 to 20 lakh odd people who called in to give their choice, Bhagwant Mann was the choice of 93%. This is what is said by Arvind Kejriwal himself, who describes Bhagwant Mann as his younger brother.
ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਮੇਡੀਅਨ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਲੋਕੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਚਿਹਰਾ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਹੱਸ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ 'ਚ ਐਡਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹੁਣ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਰਿਵਰਸ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਜਨ ਸਭਾ 'ਚ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ 'ਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਲੋਕੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਚਿਹਰਾ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਰੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਚਾ ਲਓ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੱਟੇ ਗਏ ਜੀ
मैं अगर खुद भगवंत मान जी का नाम डिक्लेयर कर देता तो कहते हैं केजरीवाल ने अपने भाई को बना दिया केजरीवाल ने भाई भतीजावाद करा है जैसे दूसरी पार्टियां करती हैं वैसे केजरीवाल ने करा तो हमने कहा नहीं ऐसे नहीं करेंगे तो पंजाब के लोगों ने अपना अगला सीएम किसे चुना है ये जो 21,59,000 वोट आए जो लोगों ने अपने रिस्पॉन्स दिए उसमें कई लोगों ने मेरा नाम डाल दिया मैंने शुरू में ही कह दिया था भी मैं रेस में नहीं हूँ तो उन वोट्स को हमने इनवैलिड डिक्लेयर कर दिया, जिसने कहा भाई अरविंद केजरीवाल, उसको हमने साइड कर दिया। उन सारे वोट्स को जो बचे उसमें 93.3% लोगों ने सरदार भगवंत मान का नाम लिया।
आज क्या कहना चाहेंगे उनको?
बड़ी बड़ी बधाई देना चाहिए, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बधाई देना चाहिए बापे बेटे।
भगवंत मान का नाम आज चप्पे चप्पे पे लिया जा रहा है पंजाब में, देश में। क्या आप उनको समझाती हैं या आपको लगता है अपने आप से ही काम करते हैं?
अपने आप से काम करते हैं।
मैंने संगरूर में उन्होंने शुरू किया पूरा, उसके बारे में बताइए आप हमें।
बहुत बढ़िया शुरू कराया, दूरी बार दा MP बनाया संगरूर वाले ने, बहुत साथ देंदे ने, हुण भी साथ देणगे। पंजाब वाले लोग सारे साथ देणगे, एक दी लड़ाई नहीं हैगी, सारे दी लड़ाई लड़के लड़नी पऊगी।
आप उनकी बहन हैं, साथ में पढ़े पले, कैसे देखते?
ਬਹੁਤ ਆਮ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਨਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ, ਆਮ ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਸਾਡਾ ਆਮ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਾਲਣ ਪੋਸ਼ਣ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਆਮ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿੰਡੇ ਤੇ ਹੰਡਾਇਆ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਯਕੀਨ ਤੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਤਾਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਬਾਈ ਜੀ ਤੇ, ਉਮੀਦਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ
आपको मन में पता था, आपको यह ख्याल था कि जीतेंगे वो?
ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ,
ये एक सेमीफाइनल की तरह है कि पहले नंबर पे आया, उसके बाद अब वो आगे बढ़ेंगे?
ਨਹੀਂ ਫਾਈਨਲ ਸੈਮੀਫਾਈਨਲ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਲੋਕ ਹੁਣ ਅੱਕ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ।
All right, let me quickly cut across to Manjeet Sehgal joining us live from Chandigarh. Manjeet, Bhagwant Mann now has been announced as AAP's CM face in Punjab. This was very much expected, an announcement that India Today had already felt and confirmed on the 4th of January itself. It's been 2 weeks now that we've told our audience very clearly that this will be the AAP's choice. Maybe that phone-in tele-vote system itself was just a eyewash. Eventually, Aadmi party was already fixated on Bhagwant Mann itself. That was their choice from the start. And today the announcement has come in.
Well, Nabila, Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal had last year during the month of June had made it clear that the chief ministerial face of the party will be Sikh and will also be a very popular one. Now it took almost a year to announce the chief ministerial candidate. There are two after conducting the survey that Bhagwant Mann will be the party's chief ministerial candidate. But remember, Bhagwant Mann has been announced a chief ministerial candidate at a time when 9 MLAs out of a total 20 who had won the elections in 2017 have left the party. So biggest challenge before Bhagwant Mann will be to keep party's flock together in Punjab, as Bhagwant Mann himself said that he dreams to make a new Punjab, besides getting jobs for the unemployed youth and doing away with many foibles like the drug addiction in Punjab will be his dreams. So Bhagwant Mann is now party's chief ministerial face, and only a month has left for the poll elections. Political analysts are saying that party should have announced a chief ministerial candidate much in advance that may have benefited the party more. But now, as Bhagwant Mann have been announced as a party's chief ministerial face, so party has now got a vision and a face. Aam Aadmi Party is the second party after Shiromani Akali Dal which has announced its chief ministerial candidate. Congress party is still struggling between the three leaders and has announced that party will be contesting the elections under the collective leadership. Nabila.
All right, Manjeet, thank you very much with those details for joining us. Let me cut across to Chaiti Narula there, who brings us the SWOT analysis, the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats of Punjab AAP's President Bhagwant Mann, who's now been announced as the CM face.
Let's get you Bhagwant Mann's profile now. Let's first start off with his strengths. He is a grassroots level leader, so it will all go well for the Aam Aadmi Party. He, of course, is a good orator, and that always helps. He's also a political satirist. Let's take a look at more strengths of his. He has support of the Jat peasantry. Now, there are some weaknesses of his as well. He's known as Bhagwant Mann. He seems to be a bit of a non-serious candidate for the chief minister. Probably a good leader, but not a great chief minister. The opportunities he can harness celeb leader appeal statewide. There are some threats too, that is that he's been caught in a web of past images too. So this is the SWOT analysis as far as Bhagwant Mann is concerned.
Meanwhile, Bhagwant Mann is Aam Aadmi Party's chief ministerial candidate now for Punjab. Delhi Chief Minister Kejriwal made this announcement today in a dramatic turn of events. Kejriwal revealed the results of the tele-voting drive in which people were asked to phone in their choice for the top post. Here's what panned out.
मेरी सोच भी प्यार करने वाला ये लोकतंत्र के लोग बड़े ने दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी डेमोक्रेसी वादे कीते ऐलान कीते एक भी पूरा नहीं होया चौकीदार देख रहा है और लोग बैंकों को चूना लगाकर भगौड़े हो रहे हैं और लाखों पढ़े लिखे नौजवानों के सपने सरकास्टिक भगौड़े हो रहे हैं हरसिमरत कौर की वीडियो आई है रो रही है वो मैं और स्कॉनफुल सुखबीर जी कभी मिले नहीं
Serious. Meet the 48-year-old Sangrur MP Bhagwant Mann.
अब क्रिकेट प्लेयरों की पूरे देश में बल्ले 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 पैसों की बरसात डैशी हेयर स्टाइल उनके हीरो ने उन पे मरती है
A college dropout who turned out to be one of India's most popular stand-up comedians.
हॉकी वाले बेचारे काले पीले मीडिया वालों को भी मैं कहता हूँ क्या प्री पोल
And then a crowd-pulling leader of Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab. Mann's tryst with active politics began with Manpreet Singh Badal's People's Party of Punjab in 2011. That debut was unsuccessful at the hustings. Mann couldn't win his seat in the Punjab Assembly elections a year later. But when he joined Aam Aadmi Party in March 2014, he breezed into the Lok Sabha with a margin of more than 2 lakh votes from Sangrur, his home district. In 2015, Mann and his wife filed for divorce. They have a son and a daughter living overseas.
In politics, Bhagwant Mann was the only silver lining in AAP's 2019 Lok Sabha contest. He retained his Sangrur seat, but with a reduced margin of a little over 1 lakh votes.
Sangrur is abuzz about Mann's possible second attempt for a slot in the state legislature from one of its assembly segments. He appears to have a committed fan following here.
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਲੀਡਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਸਿਖਾਇਆਗਾ ਕਿ ਐਵੇਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਐਵੇਂ ਗ੍ਰਾਂਟਾਂ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਐਮਪੀ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਆ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਐਮਐਲਏ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਆ
ਸਾਰਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਗ੍ਰਾਂਟਾਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੰਮ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ
But Mann and controversy have gone hand in hand. He has been accused of compromising parliament security.
हाउस के अंदर होता तो मैं हो सकता है तुरंत कुछ डिसीजन लिया जाता मेरी तरफ से मगर ये हाउस के बाहर मगर पार्लियामेंट के अहाते में हुई घटना ये सब तो ये सभी सोच करके हम कार्रवाई जरूर करेंगे सब लोगों से विचार विमर्श करके
And even of attending the house drunk.
मैं बहुत प्रताड़ित होता हूँ अब उस सीट पर बैठकर मेरे को वहाँ से बदला जाए मैंने तो ये कहा है जी इसका अभिप्राय तो यही है जी कि उधर से बदबू आती है
And then came some damage control. Mann made a teetotal pledge at a public rally 2 years ago.
वो तो खत्म हो गया ना अब मैंने पब्लिक में भी कर दिया हालांकि ये मेरा पर्सनल था कैप्टन अमरिंदर सिंह अरूसा के साथ बैठकर चीयर्स करके पीता है वो मुद्दा नहीं है जो परसेप्शन मेरी बना रहे थे अब मैंने वो भी बंद कर दिया कि चलो अब आप क्या करोगे
On a grueling mission, once again, as Kejriwal's star campaigner in Punjab.
The challenge for Bhagwant Mann is momentous this time around. A lot has changed in Punjab's electoral scene between last elections and this election. The contest is multipolar now. Mann, the pride of Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab, has to sail up through a multi-cornered contest this time around. With camera person Dalveer Singh, this is Harmeet Shah Singh from Dhuri Assembly segment for India Today.